StratNews Global visited Missamari to speak to Major General Charanjeev Manju, the then GOC 71 Infantry Division, in March 2023 on the change in infrastructure and force positions along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh, the repulsed PLA Yangtse attempted incursion, SOPs post Galwan, and more on India commanding the Tawang Heights. This is StratNews Global. I'm Amitabh P. Very honored and privileged to be hosted by the Indian Army and Major General Charanjeev Manju, who is the GOC of the 71st Infantry Division in Missamari in Assam. General sir, thank you so much for your hospitality.
Thank you.
We've actually managed to, in a very short frame of time, travel from Assam all the way up to Arunachal. So we've got a slight experience of the terrain, the conditions, weather conditions. How would you assess, General, the change in both infrastructure and your force positions over the last few years?
Amitabh, over the last few years, there has been a lot of change, a lot of development, both from PLA side as well as our side. And initially, probably, we had not focused that much on infrastructure development. But this time on, past few years, there has been a lot of emphasis, focus, both from the government side, central government side, state government side, as well as the army side. The focus has increased, and infrastructure like connectivity, whether it is thinking about railway connectivity subsequently, maybe the airport coming up at Dirang. So connectivity is actually the main driver. In case you are connected, the last mile connectivity is there, then the development also takes place. Sure. So Chinese side, they are doing a lot of infrastructure development. They are coming closer to LAC day by day. Every year we notice this change. So we also are taking lot of steps. Specifics probably I may not be able to convey here on this thing, but otherwise we are doing a lot of good things, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of technology is being brought into this area, whether it is road construction, whether it is habitat construction. So everything is being taken care of. I think there is nothing to worry. We are doing a good job.
In terms of that, there has been an incident last year, December, when you're talking about in Yangtse. Before that, when you go, especially in Galwan and Dolam, has there been an increase, say, in the frequency of such face-offs, incidents? Has it changed in any manner?
You see, frequency in our area has not increased per se, but the face-offs generally, they come to 2 or 3 particular places. So they come generally at the same place. They say that they are their traditional patrolling routes they want to come. But there is otherwise a lot of increase in the visits of their senior officers on the line of actual control. And patrolling etc. is normal routine. There is nothing much which has changed. There is nothing much which has changed. But yes, their visits of senior officers has increased, and from our side also we are keeping a track, we are monitoring, we are checking each and every move which they are taking, and our surveillance, we have improved our surveillance, and we are keeping a tab on each and everything which they are doing.
To a certain extent, I have been briefed on what the preparedness is, and obviously you can't put out that, and there's no necessity for operational details to be put out in the public domain unless necessary. Could you explain to a lay viewer, in terms of, you were talking about senior officers of the PLA, border engagement, border meetings, what exactly happens, what has been happening over the last few meetings?
You see, in case there is, you are fully aware that there is variance in perception of LAC between us and the PLA or the Chinese. So in case there is some kind of issue which they notice, they ask for a border personnel meeting. And in case we have some point to be raised or to be conveyed to them, there is a method of hotline. There are hotlines. So we have exchange of hotline and we convey the message. In case there is something substantial which needs to be discussed, so we have a border personnel meeting, like in our area it is at Bumla.
Correct.
That is the designated place. So we have a border personnel meeting and all the issues are resolved and sorted out amicably there. There is no, actually with the ground troops, there is no problem whatsoever on ground.
And this happens on various levels, sir. This is the senior most level. I presume there's one that happened which involves the ME and recently first trip to China. But at the local commanders level also,
At
smaller incidents, right?
Yeah, like this BPM meeting which happens at Bumla, that is the highest which is happening at our level. But otherwise at our lower level, at every place wherever the troops are in contact, so we have interactions there. They come to a particular place, we also go to that place, we meet local points, any points which they raise or we raise, so they are addressed. Sometimes the herders, they come close to the LAC. Now with the new land border law coming, so we are facing more problems because more of herders or people in the guise of herders, they are coming close to the LAC. So we raise protests on that. At the local level also we raise protests. And in case they are not sorted out at that level, so then we raise a hotline. And in case it is not sorted out, then we take it up in the Bumla meeting, border personnel meeting.
General, again, in this area, from my understanding, there are several positions where we are dominating or we are on a certain height, which gives us an advantage. And we've taken those positions decades ago.
Yeah.
How important is that, and what is our capability, without giving out any details that you don't need to, of, say, looking behind the hill, that you need to know what's happening on the other side of the plateau? What is our capability and how are we handling their posture?
Okay, you see, as far as our deployments or our locations are concerned, we are sitting on dominating places, we are sitting on the watershed. So we are able to see right across, we can see beyond the immediate, and these days there are a lot of surveillance devices available. The higher headquarter gives us the information as and when required, and whatever is required, that is being given to us. But we are well settled, there is no problem or there is nothing to worry on that account. And
since you're talking about it, sir, and you mentioned it earlier, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance has sharpened much more with technology, our capabilities, right?
Yes. Yeah, that is, the technology has actually made a lot of difference. Technology has made a lot of difference. Earlier, the kind of cameras we did not have, the otherwise surveillance devices, the equipment we did not have. But now, I have noticed that over the past few years, there is a lot of new technology, new equipment, new generation weapons, new generation equipment which is coming up, whether it is all-terrain vehicle or the kind of other weapons, latest weapons. So a lot of focus has been given on this issue.
And our eyes are exactly where they need to be.
Yeah, certainly, there is no doubt about that.
When I look at it from a foreign affairs or international relations kind of angle, all the decades of meetings, agreements, say from 1988, I mean virtually and figuratively have been torn up after Galwan. In terms of military postures, have our standard operating procedures changed since then? Has it affected? Do the troops on the ground, are they allowed to carry weapons? Can they use them? What can you share with us?
See, after Galwan, things have changed a lot. Yeah. Before Galwan, the deployments were not that much in the forward areas. After Galwan, he has come closer to the LAC, and during this normal training durations or training periods, so he has started bringing more forces closer by. And we also have to be cautious of all those things. So to take care of those issues, that those contingencies, those eventualities which may arise. So we also have changed our standing operating procedures. So we have also enhanced commensurately our strength in the forward areas, so that we can take action as and when warranted.
Again, what is your assessment of the PLA? How well equipped are they? What is their morale like? There's a lot of analysis out there in open source and thoughts that go out that maybe because of the one child policy, they may not be so motivated. There has been no combat experience at all since 1979 in Vietnam. What is your assessment of the main adversary that we have?
You see, as far as technology is concerned, he is much advanced. There is no doubt about that. But yes, there are limitations that one child policy and maybe most of its army is conscript. So
Exactly.
that we may have noticed at times, but since we also do not have that kind of close interaction, that we cannot judge the morale, what kind of morale they have. But yeah, technologically they are advanced. Otherwise, when we see on ground during the patrols or other initiatives, I think our soldiers are certainly much better. They are much more motivated, and I think we are much better as far as soldier is concerned compared to the Chinese army.
Anywhere across the northern or any border of LAC, LOC, very crucial, and there's internal defense restructuring that's also going on. In this area, interoperability between the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force would be also critical. What can you share with us and how important that is?
You see, interoperability not only with Air Force but also with
True.
ITBP,
True.
SSB
Yeah.
is very, very important and very, very crucial. A lot of steps have been taken in this side also, and we are totally in sync with the Air Force, with ITBP, with SSB. We have joint patrols with ITBP, we do training together, we stay at the same places. So synergy which is required is presently there. With the Air Force at my level, at the ground level, there is not much which is required to be done, but at the highest level when we interact or when we attend other conferences, meetings,
Right,
there is a lot of synergy, there is a lot of info sharing, a lot of best practices sharing with the Air Force. We are totally on board with each other.
You mentioned it repeatedly, sir, about ISR and surveillance and how important that is in the job that you do, technology and the catching up that needs to be done. How much movement have you seen with technology, and how does that kind of mesh with the larger strategy of Atmanirbhar Bharat and technology that is now becoming more and more available with local vendors?
Atmanirbharta is the answer to everything. Digitization is the answer to everything. We have seen during the Ukraine war also, and otherwise also, too much of dependence on outsiders can be fatal. They can, like in the GPS system or other system, they may not share the technology, they may not share the parts, they may not give us the parts which we may require at the crucial time. So Atmanirbharta is the only solution and is the only answer, and I think we as a country are having that one nation national approach or one nation approach, and I think we are doing well in this, and that is the way forward. That is the only way forward, Atmanirbharta, so that we don't have to depend on others for any crucial things at that critical juncture.
You talked, General, about the Indian Army, Air Force, ITBP, SSB working together. What about civil and defense relationship? Because I mean, another very important aspect of the Chinese capability is their model villages or ghost towns, as you call them, which we are also trying to bring people into our border villages for obvious reasons with vibrant villages. How do you see that civil-military relationship?
Civil-military relations in our area are phenomenal. The civil administration is very, very responsive, and we are in touch with them on daily basis, I would say. Whether it is organizing some function, whether it is infra development, improvement of the roads, or any kind of small issue, we do a lot of Sadbhavna projects, Samaritan projects, and civil administration is totally on board with us. There is no problem whatsoever. We attend each other's functions also. We have our personal relations also with them. Socially also we interact. And like you mentioned about Chinese villages, he is trying to force people and come and so that they come and occupy in those villages and they stay there. And with the new land border law, he is enforcing a lot of things on them. Our government had also announced the Vibrant Village program. So we are also developing certain villages in our area, and we are also trying to focus on that issue so that the education facilities, road connectivity, the medical issues and electricity and mobile connectivity, those kind of things are important for a person to stay and to earn his livelihood. So our government has also focused on these issues, and Army and civil administration are totally on board. A lot of meetings we have had with the civil administration, that where all do we want the communication towers, where all we can improve certain things. So that is in sync.
On the same page, and as you point out, the very different systems in India and China, and they can force people into those villages. Again, so when you're talking about connectivity, and here I'm talking about roads and tunnels, in which we've again passed through and seen, how important is it, the plan, to have different alternatives than we do currently to get to the LAC, whether it's what we're talking about locally or the plan that has the the
Trans-Arunachal.
Correct, all the way
highway.
from Vijayanagar to Tawang. How important is that?
Actually, it is the most important issue. Connectivity, road connectivity is very important. Now there is one bottleneck for us from going to the plains, going to Tawang. There is only one access, and there also there are bottlenecks. So there is a western access which is coming up, which should be through in a few months' time, and also there is a plan for eastern alignment. So these alignments, these highways, these roads, this connectivity is a major force multiplier, I would say, which is important. Without connectivity, it is very difficult to mobilize forces or mobilize whatever you want to supply to your forward troops, or you want to get something back from there. So connectivity is the most important issue, and I am sure the government is doing a lot on this aspect, and the Chief Minister is also very proactive. He is the one who personally takes interest in all these issues. I'll just quote that there was one road which is very crucial for us as well as the civil administration. The Chief Minister walked about 7 to 8 kilometers on that road with the civil administration, and our officers were also there, and then he passed instructions that this should be done at the fastest way. So that is the kind of interest which the Chief Minister and the government, Arunachal government, is taking.
General, absolutely appreciate both your time, your hospitality, and of course what you and the boys and girls across this state and across the country are doing for us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
And for our viewers, there's a lot that is happening outside Delhi, and we are lucky to be here in Assam. We'll be getting you reports all through next few weeks or so from Arunachal Pradesh. Do send your feedback in. If you like this video, give the thumbs up on YouTube, share the link as widely as possible, and follow our social media. You can see a Telegram scroll at the bottom of your screen, which will give you the latest updates both on our website and on our YouTube channel. This is StratNews Global. I'm Amitabh P. In the next episode on Commanding the Tawang Heights, we travel to and focus on the crucial district along the LAC in Arunachal Pradesh, the Tibet border, Yangtse, Bumla, Assam Hill, Pangkang Tengso, and the Kyafo Model Border Post.